Welcome back to Red vs. Blue episode summaries. Today, I'll be doing episode 32, Me, Myself, and You. Back inside Caboose's mind, Church and Tex had explained their situation to Caboose, who clarified that they were from outside Caboose's mind, stating that was where the other was from. Church, confused, questions if this other is O'Malley, further asking if he'd seen him. Just then, Church shows up, angrily confirming in his high-pitched voice that Caboose had obviously seen him, questioning how anyone could think he would miss something like that, calling Church an idiot and steegey douchebag fuck. Church questions Church on who he is, still unaware, with Church stating his name, calling Church a butt-wiping ass munch. Church, in disbelief, states how the false Church is kind of an asshole, with Tex responding they've met before, insinuating Church was just as bad. False Church then adds that he's false Caboose's best friend, warning Church not to get any ideas of kissing up to false Caboose and stealing false Church's spot, calling him a lip-slipping fucksuck. Church is now in a state of both pure confusion and annoyance, clarifying how much of Church's last statements he despises, but Tex instructs him to play along, reminding him they'll need the mental images to help find O'Malley, as the false Tucker runs away, nonchalantly stating he's going to go look for girls. Church reluctantly obliged to Tex's instructions, putting aside his hatred for the mental images, as Caboose, the false one, suggests that in order to locate O'Malley, they should talk to the Reds, adding that they had experience with O'Malley, who had tried to recruit them against false Caboose when he first jumped in. Church responds, simply with shock, that the Reds are in Caboose's mind. Meanwhile, outside Caboose's mind, just outside Red Base, Griff and Donut were standing by the Warthog remains, with Griff questioning Donut if he was sure he left the part inside. Donut responded, going back and forth, stuttering between he thought so, yes, and no, before settling on he thought so after a long pause. Griff was extremely annoyed by Donut's unsureness by this point, sighing in disappointment and exhaustion, as he suggested Donut retrace his steps to be sure, beginning to reiterate what Donut had told him while they walked out to the Warthog, including that it was the Tuesday before Simmons and Sarge got blown up by Lopez that Donut was last in the Warthog, with Donut clarifying he knew it was Tuesday, because it was the day he washed his underwear, adding with no shame that he hates letting his armor touch his skin, since he chafes really easily, so he went to the Warthog after, searching for a place he could hang out without pants. Griff only replies in horror with, "Oh God." Meanwhile, Tucker had entered Sheila's cockpit, and drove up to Red Base with Lopez running beside him. Tucker declared they were close enough, and attempted to find Sheila's brakes, about to try pressing a button before being warned against it coldly by Sheila, leading him to apologize and try another one, only for Sheila to politely demand that he not touch her. Tucker, somewhat coldly, responds that for a girl her size, she's pretty sensitive. Meanwhile, Griff was at his breaking point, even saying aloud that he couldn't take any more, as Donut continued retracing his steps, mentioning how he was about to apply ointments after trimming his toenails, but stopped himself since it smelled funny, opting to taste it first, stupidly claiming that would help him see if it was safe. At this point, Griff began walking away, claiming he was going to commit suicide, probably only tangibly joking. Donut, annoyed, yelled at Griff for him to come back, clarifying he wasn't finished retracing, indicating the best part was yet to come, being the boil on his thigh. This did not convince Griff to stay by any means, as he kept walking away, stopping and shouting, "Oh crap," as he spotted Tucker, Sheila, and Lopez approaching, immediately turning back to Donut and hiding behind the Warthog. Donut happily exclaimed that Griff was back, remembering and resuming where he left off, making various disgusting gagging noises as he recalled and stated the terrible taste of the ointment. Griff, not even remotely prepared to hear more, shouted at Donut to stop, notifying him about the incoming tank that was about to steamroll them, much to Donut's disbelief as he screamed, "What?" and bounced up from behind the Warthog, spotting the tank coming their way. Realizing Griff was telling the truth, he began screaming that he was totally freaking out, just as he said he would, and just as Tucker feared. Speaking of Tucker, he panics as he's driving, questioning Sheila how he's supposed to slow her down, simultaneously in disbelief that Caboose could figure out how to drive Sheila, but he couldn't. Sheila responds, instructing Tucker to retread the throttle, which Tucker doesn't even know is on the controller. Sheila yells, continuously calling Tucker a retard and replacing the word retread with retard. Tucker gets annoyed, accusing Sheila of being needlessly mean, stating how retard was kinda insulting, as Sheila continues repeating retard anyway.